Welcome back to the channel, guys. Thank you for joining me today. Today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the drivability of my 2017 GT350 coming up. All right, so here we are in beautiful Northern California by the bay. So fortunate to live so close to the water here. I've got my GT350 in the background here. Forget this ridiculous looking mic. It's there to keep the wind down, so the sound quality is good for you guys. Just wanted to talk a little bit about the daily drivability of a GT350. I think that's an important consideration because there's more and more of these cars popping up on the used car market, and more and more people are starting to grab them, and for good reason. It's an incredible car. When I picked it up, my original intention was not to drive it every day. Circumstances changed a little bit. I'm down to one car now, and so I've been driving this car almost exclusively every single day. I did have a vehicle that I was driving every single day that got in a wreck. Not too many details on that, but long story short, I was driving this car every day for a year. I got a beater daily driver to drive around for a little bit. That got in the wreck, and then now I'm back to driving this every single day. So I can't complain too much. It's an incredible vehicle. I'm going to go over a couple of things right now that to me matter when you're looking at a car that's high performance that you would be driving every single day. So walking around the vehicle, the first thing I'm going to point out is this is a regular GT350. It's not the GT350R. If the GT350R was available for me to purchase at the time that I got this car, I probably would have picked that car up. All in hindsight, because the thing about the GT350R, one of the things that's different about this vehicle is you'll see the front fascia on the GT350R, the lip is actually more prominent and pushes out further, which makes ground clearance more of an issue. The suspension on the GT350R will also be lower. Hi, buddy. Had some friendly guests stopping in to say hello. But the GT350R with the lower suspension would also make the clearance of that then larger lip even more difficult to negotiate bumps and speed bumps and curbs and things of the sort. Things that you encounter on a daily basis, right? Walking around the side, you know, of course, the other thing about the GT350R are the very expensive carbon fiber wheels. And the GT350 does not have the carbon fiber wheels, which is actually a blessing as a daily driver. I haven't curbed these wheels, thank God, but can you imagine curbing one of the carbon fiber wheels? I mean, from what I understand, when that car was new, it was $10,000 per wheel, which is just absolutely insane. $40,000 for a set of tires, and you know, that's a cost of another whole vehicle. I'm sure the cost has come down a little bit, but not significantly from what I understand. Another thing to consider if you're looking at the GT350 as a daily driver, I think is absolutely worth the investment, is my car has a complete front clip clear bra on the front clip of the car. Front clip meaning from the front bumper all the way back to where this crease is, or where the seam is, and even the side view mirrors and the roof. Now the doors are not covered, and the rear quarter is not covered, and of course the rear bumper is not covered, but the whole front of the car is. If you're daily driving this car and you do a lot of freeway driving like I do, you know, the investment, even though clear bras, especially if you go with a full front clip like that, can be a little bit pricey, it's absolutely worth the investment. You know, you want to preserve that paint. Even though it is a vehicle you're driving every day, it is still a high performance and gorgeous car. You want to maintain the beauty. That clear bra is going to save you many, many times. In fact, it's already saved, well, not really on a paint part. I don't know if you can catch it on the camera there, but there is a clear, part of the clear bra is on the headlight as well. And already a rock nicked me there. And I haven't chosen to take that off because I'm kind of, you know, waiting until other flaws stop popping up and maybe I'll fix it. But I can't overstate enough how awesome this front clip clear bra has been. And you can't even really tell it's there until you get to the edges and underneath. You know, you find a good installer. Here's another spot where it's kind of like starting to peel up a little bit, but not a big deal. You know, it's doing its job. It's protecting the car. That's what it's meant to do. As far as the drivability is concerned on the GT350, because it has the different spring rates as opposed to the GT350R, the ride will be a little bit softer, although, you know, it's marginally so. Unless you're driving on bumpy roads constantly, you're probably not going to see too much of a difference. But the great thing about these cars, if you go with the 2017 or newer, you have the standard Magna ride in the vehicle, which is absolutely incredible. Now, if you are looking into getting a pre-owned GT350R, just make sure you go with one that has the performance pack and or the Magna ride, because it makes a huge difference to be able to adjust the suspension like that. On the pre-2017s, the 16s and such, if you didn't get the Magna ride, you had the standard suspension there, which is awesome for track use. It's a great performing suspension, but it does not allow for the adjustability that the Magna ride does. Very, very big difference. All right, so stepping around and into the interior, first of all, sorry about how dirty my car is, guys. It's been raining here the last couple of days. I've really been meaning to wash it, but I wanted to get this video out to you guys. So, I mean, I do drive this every day. You know, this is valid proof right here. I drive it every single day. I use it in the rain. I use the car. I bought it. I love it. I want to use it. So looking at the interior, I just want to go over some wear and tear from daily use. It's held up very, very, very well. You know, the carpet's dirty from my feet, of course, but looking at the side bolsters on the seat, I don't see a lot of, you know, wear indicators. I don't see a lot of signs that this is going to give in at any point and start cracking and peeling and falling apart. Sitting on the inside of the vehicle. So a couple of my only two mods here. I did an aftermarket shift knob. The factory shift knob is a leather shift knob with some red stitching on it. I switch it out for this cue ball shifter, which is pretty awesome. Got that from CJ Pony Parts. Pretty great place for Mustang parts if you're interested. I also swapped out the steering wheel. I got the GT350R steering wheel. The main difference being the red stitching and the red line at the top of the steering wheel. Kind of hard to see with this light right now. But that's the only two mods on the car thus far. On the steering wheel, the factory steering wheel is also Alcantara. You know, and from daily use, it felt really great when it was brand new. You know, and there are ways to maintain anything that's Alcantara. You know, there's brushes and stuff that you can buy to keep the Alcantara nice and fluffy. I haven't bothered to do that, so you know, this is the natural wear that you can expect to have on an Alcantara steering wheel. Still feels great, still has plenty of grip. It does the job well, although I can tell some of the fluffiness has gone away. If you look, I don't know if the camera can catch it, but if you look right here, that's a spot where my hand usually is not, and that's where the Alcantara is still pretty much brand new, where everywhere else has, you know, the unfortunate oils from your hand, the things that happen to a steering wheel over time. But other than that, I mean, I have a car. I mean, this is a 2017 that I bought with 1,800 miles on it. And now it's got almost 17,200 miles, like 17,189 or something like that. So if I clean this car up, you know, maybe did a little bit better job of brushing the Alcantara on the steering wheel, it would still look all the way brand new. I mean, these cars, and I've had zero issues. I haven't had any warranty claims, any issues that I've needed to worry about. It's just been a tremendous vehicle. You know, I get in it every single morning. I start it up. It starts up fine. Fire it up here now. You know, neighbors get pissed off at me whenever I start up my car in the morning. But what are you going to do? It's the price of having a high-performance car. I do have a couple of neighbors that appreciate this vehicle too, so I guess they're a little bit more understanding. But it's a tremendous vehicle, you know, and if you really are in the market and considering a GT350 or even a GT350R, and you have the choice of one or the other, I would give both of them a really good look. And of course, where you live is going to predicate which car is going to do better for you, right? If you live in a relatively flat area, you don't encounter a lot of speed bumps, you're not parking front end. First of all, anybody with a nice car should never park front end into a parking spot, but that's a story for another day. Not really going to drive it around for you guys today. There's another video that I have for that. If you want to check it up in the corner here, there'll be a suggestion box right there. If you want to see what the performance drivability of this car is like with me driving it, my relatively average driving skills. But it's been a great car. The sound system is good enough, although I rarely turn it on because I listen to the exhaust, and why wouldn't you? And it's been comfortable. If you're going, another consideration too, the seats. So these are the standard seats that, see if you get a shot. These are the standard seats that come with the GT350, the non-upgraded Recaro seats. There's more adjustability in these seats. They are a little cushier, they're a little bit thicker, they're a little bit more robust. The Recaro seats are great too. I sat in those, but if you're in and out of the car a lot and you're driving the car a lot, the bolsters are a little bit more aggressive in that vehicle. That could be a consideration as well. I mean, even Jay Leno, who owns one of these vehicles, he bought his GT350R with the upgraded Recaro seats, but he bought a set of the standard seats to put in the car because he loves driving his car. Which is exactly what these vehicles are meant for. They're not trailer queens, they're not garage queens, although, you know, in a perfect world, if I had the choice, I would love to preserve this car a little bit more and not drive it, but it's such a great daily driving car. You know, and just touching on the little things I talked about on the GT350R, the differences there. Depending on where you live, the GT350R might work perfectly for you. You know, that's all going to depend on what kind of bumps you're negotiating, right? I live in the Bay Area. There's a lot of steep hills here. There's a lot of potholes. You know, people are some of the worst drivers in the entire world, and I've done some traveling, so I know. You know, so based on all of those things, the GT350R, you know, going back, if I had a choice to buy either vehicle and I knew I was going to be driving it every day, I'd probably get the regular GT350. I mean, you're saving the money there too when you make the initial purchase, so there's not a whole lot of downsides there, you know. Anyways, guys, thank you again for joining me on the video. If you haven't already, please like, comment, and subscribe. I'm going to be putting out content more and more. I'm going to be reviewing some other cars here again in the future. Please check out some of my other videos. Until then, I'm Michael Baxey, and I'm out.